Hey everyone, and my name is Animesh, and I'm of course the founder and creator of Learn How to Train. And I'm going to take 2-3 minutes of your time, alright? But my field of work, there are two things that matter. Number one is my clients, which are primarily coaches and athletes, they obviously care about results. So the programs that I'm building for them, they have to work, right? That's what they care about. And in this particular field, when you're working with coaches and athletes, you have to go one extra step because coaches and athletes are inherently curious people. They are not just going to be satisfied if you give them a program and for them to do, and that's all they have, right? They obviously have questions. They are probably out on the internet, out in the field, looking at a bunch of different kinds of topics, exploring a bunch of ideas, and they're going to have questions, right? Because the access to information is virtually limitless at this, in this day and age. So they come across questions, so they want somebody, they want their coach or whoever they are consulting to help them condense these complex concepts into simple explanations that they can apply and that are practical in nature, right? So that's what I have to do for them. I am this vessel of interpretation, this vessel of information for them through which they learn things. So they care about training, they care about learning. And as long as these two requirements are being met, so far nobody has ever really asked me about my certification course, where I'm certified from, how much it cost, which by the way, it was a lot. It cost me close to 50,000 bucks. I had to do it in EMIs, 4 or 5 years ago when I got certified. And I mean, if we go by that certification, I can call myself a strength and conditioning specialist. It was at that point of time, and I think till this date, one of the top 5 certifications in the country for strength and conditioning. But I have not really been ever asked about that. Neither do I call myself a strength and conditioning specialist anywhere, for a couple of particular reasons. Number one is that I honestly believe, and you guys can tell me if this has been your experience as well. So the study material that they give you when you buy a certification course is, how often do you end up retaining that information after that exam is done, right? So mostly, like most schools operate, that study material is meant for you to pass an examination at the end of your course, after which they basically validate you through their institution to call yourself a professional, and that's pretty much where that ends. That's pretty much where the utility of most certification courses end. You know what what is actually going to be useful, and this has been my experience, and again, you guys can tell me if this has been your experience as well, because like I said, I teach people, I do presentations and these things, and I've met a lot of strength and conditioning specialists from top certification courses, a lot of even MSc, BSc in exercise science folks, and everybody is on the same playing field, right? Everybody is a bit confused about what's going on, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's the initial condition, as a starting point for being a good effective coach, being a effective professional in this field, is realizing that what we are dealing with is inherently complex, right? And when you're dealing with things that are complex, you cannot have conclusions about things that you formed at one point of time and then never audit those conclusions, because complexity, when you're dealing with complexity is subject to space and time, and the unpredictability and uncertainty that space and time brings. So what I'm trying to say is that as time goes by, as things happen, more information is going to come in. Going to become aware about more things, right? Your field of perception is going to increase, and with that, you will have to audit your assumptions, you will have to audit your conclusions, and just account for more things that you did not know at the point when you formed the conclusions, right? So long story short, the way that certification courses operate is that they will help you form conclusions about things. They will give you information that is static, that is stagnant in nature, right? But what about as time goes by and when things change, as the field itself progresses, and you're dealing with human beings. So every time a person walks in, every time a new human being walks in that wants to work with you, they are going to walk in with a set of fresh problems, and you'll require a fresh perspective to solve those problems. Not every single case, even if quote unquote the thing that you're trying to solve is the same. Like, let's say you try to, within the span of 4 years, you try to solve back problem issues for 10 people. The method that you will end up applying for those 10 people is not going to be the same, even though they have the same manifestation of problem. The method that you'll apply is going to be completely different, because people are unique, people are complex, and when you're dealing with complexity, you cannot copy paste the same solution for everybody, right? Because people have different conditions that they start these journeys with. So that's exactly why I have created Learn How to Train. I What has been working for me for all these years is having a system of learning every single week. That's what works, right? Because new information keeps coming in, so you have to account for that new information. With the new information, you're going to get new questions. New questions are going to emerge, and then you have to start a process of finding answers to those questions, and then you're going to have to apply those answers to solve the things that you're trying to solve, and then see what works and what doesn't. Keep what works, discard what does not work, and that's how you learn. And that's the kind of information that actually sticks, right? So a lot of people have been curious about this, how I do things, how I retain information, how I know about all of these things, and this is what works for me. So that's why I've created Learn How to Train. This thing is going to develop as a system itself. As I develop and grow as a coach, as I learn about more things, I want to use Learn How to Train to talk about those things, produce the content that I want to produce, through which I can talk about the ideas that I'm learning about, the lessons that I'm learning, the mistakes that I'm making, the success that I'm having in applying the concepts that I'm applying, so that I can have a lot of things that you guys can read from and just grow your area of awareness, so that when you're viewing the problems that you are trying to solve in your own particular field, line of work, you have more things to pull from, you have more lenses to view things from. And when you have that, you will be able to audit your conclusions, you will be able to ask better questions, you will be able to form a better set of assumptions, and then just serve your clients better and just grow as a coach. Because the reason why I feel like certification courses are not all that great is because they want you to retain the information that they are giving you to pass an exam, and they're saying that if you pass this exam, we are going to validate you. But when you retain information to solve actual real life problems, right? When your client comes and asks you a question, and you getting paid or not, or your growth or your credibility as a professional is going to depend on whether you can find a good quality answer for that in a way that's actually practical and applicable and understandable for the person asking the question. Then you will end up retaining those answers that you end up finding, because there are stakes involved. You're getting paid for your knowledge, you're actually getting paid for your knowledge, or not getting paid for your lack of knowledge. So when there are stakes involved, you end up learning better. The second reason why I have created Learn How to Train and what I'm doing differently than other certification courses, I'm not calling myself a certification course, right? All I'm doing is I'm putting my knowledge as a coach, as a professional out there for people to absorb and for you guys to learn from. That's all. That's all. I'm giving you guys a system of learning and helping, and hopefully being of help in some way possible in trying to expand your field of awareness. Again, so that you can form better assumptions and you can continuously keep auditing your conclusions. And I also want to do that in a very affordable way for you, because I honestly think, I mean, let's not even talk about the efficacy of certification for courses or the credibility of the subject matter that they are teaching. Leaving all that aside, even if they are teaching good quality things that you can actually apply in the field as a coach, I still feel like it should not cost you a limb, right? You should not have to do 12 down payments to just pass an exam and get study material to pass an exam, right? So I want the training modules and learning modules that I'm putting out there to be so affordable that they're as cheap as a cup of coffee, a good cup of coffee. I'm not, not a 20 rupees cup of coffee, but a decent cup of coffee. And I want to bring these training modules at an affordable cost for you guys, so that you don't have to think twice before investing into your education. You shouldn't have to pay 50,000 bucks, 30,000 bucks to get your careers off the ground. There's nothing inherently bad with investing money into your education and whatever is furthering you as a professional and whatever is furthering your learning process. But I still feel like, just to get started off and just to explore a bunch of ideas, you shouldn't have to pay that much. It shouldn't cost you a bomb. So those are the two things that I'm trying to solve, trying to provide, and that's what Learn How to Train is for. So if I haven't already, I want to welcome you guys. I want to welcome each and every one of you. I hope to get to know each and every one of you personally, and my email is always there for you guys to reach out. Don't hesitate to say hi. Don't hesitate to say what's up. Like I said, I would personally like to know each and every one of you and your ideas, your journeys, any questions that you might have for me, any suggestions that you might have for me, and things like that. I want to build this thing from the ground up as a community of people that are kind of shifting the perspective of how things are done in health and fitness, building the new paradigm, so to speak. But all of that is for later on. For right now, welcome to Learn How to Train. There are, of course, going to be, as I build this thing, there are going to be some paid learning modules, some paid courses for sure. Again, very cheap, very affordable. But outside of that, there's also going to be a lot of free content for you to swipe from, to swipe through. And so go through all of that, go through whatever there is right now, and keep coming back because this thing is going to keep growing. And if you have suggestions for me, if you have ideas that you want me to talk about, then that's going to be even better, because that's going to help me build this thing faster, build this thing better, and build this thing based on real life experiences and real life questions that I'm getting from the field, from you guys, the viewers. And I want to wish you all the best on your journey as a coach, as an athlete. And like I keep saying all the time on social media, of course, that all you want to do is keep training, keep learning, and the path just has this way of revealing itself to you. Do not worry, just keep training and the path will reveal itself to you. Alright, I'll see you guys soon.